What's up, everybody, and welcome to the Game On Improve Your Health podcast. Tonight's podcast episode journey is being guided by none other than your host, Austin J, or hallucinodream, if you know him from the gaming community, and his lovely wife, Christina, or the Warden, if you know her from the gaming community. And tonight is a follow-up and question and answer to last week's episode, which was on traveling, and staying on track with your nutrition. Thanks for tuning in and enjoy this episode. I actually added the episode thing at the end, so that was great. I apologize for those listening and watching live on Twitch and YouTube for the quality. We are in our mobile stream setup, or in a very...
Or semi-permanent mobile stream setup.
Semi-permanent, we're in an echo box right now, so everything's echoing. Did you see that? I didn't even move my mouth. Tonight is a follow-up and question and answer to last week's episode, which we went over traveling and diet and keeping on track with nutrition during your travels. So we're going to answer some questions that might have come in first, and then we're going to add anything that we may have missed that we wanted to add. So, cool?
Yep.
Let's dive right in. The first question that came in was, if you are following a diet, like a Mediterranean diet or a vegetarian, what do you recommend those who follow diets do during travel?
With like a keto diet or any type of diet?
Any type of diet. So, it's a pretty... there's a lot of answers I can go for that, but if you're...
I'll start.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Okay. Well, I think it really just goes back to planning. Like we said in the original episode, is to look at the menu ahead of time. And so, like, when you are doing research for places to eat when you're on vacation or, like, traveling, to check out the restaurants ahead of time to see if it's going to be something that fits into your diet. And yeah, just plan, I don't know, planning
really is the key answer to that.
Yeah, I don't know, and this just comes I don't know, I think this comes pretty natural to me because I don't ever go, at breakfast I'm already thinking about what we're doing for dinner. So, I'm already thinking about my next, I'm 2 meals ahead. And so, because I've already figured out probably yesterday what I was going to eat for breakfast today, and then it just is it's a cycle. I'm very, food focused, if you will. And, so... if I ever decide, on restaurants, or if I'm looking at restaurants, 9 times out of 10, I've decided what I'm getting before I even walk into the restaurant. And so, unless they have, knock me off my chair specials, I already know what I'm getting before I even walk in there, most of the time.
Those are pretty aggressive specials.
Knock me off my chair.
Seriously.
Yeah, damn near pass out from how awesome they are. How special they are.
Special. I'd say I'm about the same, except when I look at menus, the first thing I look for is the dessert. And if they have chocolate cake, I wish I was joking, but I'm not.
No.
I scroll past everything, I look for the desserts, and then I'll get upset, and then I'll, because 9 times out of 10 people just don't have regular chocolate cake. It's gotta be really good chocolate cake.
Yeah, he will get so
chocolate
mad if I pick a place, and then we then come to realize that it doesn't have some sort of chocolate dessert. Chocolate cake is preferred, but he'll settle for any chocolate dessert, really.
As long as it's not frozen. We don't like frozen chocolate stuff.
But yeah, he does get really agitated.
Anyways, that's beside the point. I don't eat that much cake, okay?
Just when we're on vacation.
In a year span, I probably eat...
more than most people do in 3 years.
Actually, yeah, probably, yeah. To be honest. No, to add on to the planning, what I want to say about that is, if you're if you are following a very strict diet, let's say you're following even a keto diet, right? Very low carb diet. What I would say is, especially if you're driving, if you have the route, right? So if I put someplace in my phone, there's the route. I would make sure that I am able to. I would do research before I leave. Like I would make sure I set aside time the day before that I can do research, or a couple of days before, and write it down. Do research on the route. I would do a couple different routes just in case there's road closed, right? And make sure that there is food within. And in the last episode we said, we try to make sure it's on the route, because of the fact that we don't eat fast food, and this is preference, of course, and I absolutely refuse to eat McDonald's, Burger King, and which is fast food, whatever.
Taco Bell.
Yeah, for sure. It's been 13 years since Taco Bell, I think. They tried to kill me. Long story. I hope you're not listening, Taco Bell.
I was gonna say.
But you did. You did. That happened. I wouldn't hesitate. I wouldn't hesitate to drive even 15 minutes out of the way to get food that I know wasn't going to spike my glucose and make me crash, especially since I'm driving, and make me feel like crap the rest of the time. That's just me. But planning the route, I would look at the route and I write down some places, especially because there's literally droughts of just road, nothing, no food. It happens on everybody's, I'm sure, which we talked about in the last episode, everybody's adventures, where if you are hungry, starting to get hungry, and you're like, nah, I'll just wait till I find the next place, and you don't really know what you're looking for. It could be, you might have missed a sign where it says, oh, the next 68 miles, there's nothing. That's what it says. The sign says desert for 68 miles.
Yeah.
So planning is crucial if you're following a strict diet, right? Unless another option would be, follow that diet, whatever, try to
just do your best.
And just
don't stress.
Don't stress about it. Just let the diet be, let that be the time where you can just, eat some extra stuff during that time period, because you are on vacation. And don't let it negatively affect you emotionally, because that will really set you back when you get back too, right? So eating extra stuff, let's say, if you eat a little more carbs on a keto diet, unless it makes you feel absolutely awful, which depending on how long you've done it might, it's not going to be the end of the world. Your body's really just going to utilize those carbs anyway, right? So
well, and I think it also goes back to another episode where we talked about we're not a fan of, like, just personally, we're not a fan of like diets, because it really, like, diet just is very temporary. And so when you're talking about your nutrition, just like a lot of other things in your life, it's constant and it's really ever changing. And so when you're like locking yourself into, a 60, 90, like these kind of short-term diets, it can be very self-sabotaging if you slip up. So like, again, I have the mentality that, like, if I say that I'm going to do something for 30 days and I slip up, like, I'm like, oh my gosh, why am I even doing this? Like, I already messed up. Or like if I go on vacation, or like a work trip or something, and my and I slip up, or I, whatever, then I start to really self-sabotage, where when you think of it more just like, hey, you know what, like, I want to just change my lifestyle. I want to have different eating habits. I want to have, better workout habits. And so when you change it from a diet to just a lifestyle change, it gets, number one, it eventually gets easier, but then it's also that, like, this one weekend that you're away, or this week that you're away, it's not like every single day you're going to be eating like crap. Like, you're going to pick meals that still fit into this lifestyle because you enjoy eating that way and you enjoy feeling better. And so you're a lot less likely to derail your diet if you don't look at it that way.
Yeah, that's a very, very valid point. It should following a diet is fine. And again, like she said, we aren't like huge fans on diets. I mean, cycling a diet is fine, right? But
yeah, I mean, cycling through different things. Like, I mean, there are like, you know, if you're trying to like train for something, right? Like, there might be a 30-day training program or like an accelerated, like, hey, I want to run a marathon in 90 days, so I'm going to follow this 90-day training program. Like, okay, like that's one thing. But like when you're talking about your just overall lifestyle, like life just changes, and like you're never gonna be in like the perfect place to follow this, you know, 60-day eating program. Like it's just pretty unrealistic.
And you really don't need to. You just need to get past the mental hump of knowing that it is okay to, you know, go outside of the quote unquote diet that you might be following because you're traveling.
Yeah.
So that would be my tip is, you know, do some serious planning, just like Christina said, and you know, and
just be okay with slipping up.
Well,
it's
not slipping up. It's really adapting. Adapting to the situation.
Yeah, and just say.
And there's always whether you feel like it or not, even though you're passing all the signs that promote McDonald's because they pay a lot of money to be on all those signs. Mm-hmm. There's a bunch of other things.
Yeah.
Lots of other options. You just have to find them. There's a lot of small, what do they call them? Hole in the wall places, something like that. Mm-hmm. That actually have fantastic food, like really, really good food.
And most of the time they're way healthier because they're not a chain and they locally source, and you know, so a lot of small like good places out there. But yeah, just don't count it as like a slip up, or don't let it derail. And it's always just about balance, you know, like nobody's gonna eat perfect every single day for the rest of their lives. Like you are gonna eat something, but just try harder tomorrow, you know, just like, hey, you know what, man, I really ate way more cake than I was anticipating, but it's gone now. I'm not going to eat it again. And then you don't eat it the next couple days, you know?
I've never done that. It's never happened to me. I'm working on myself. Mm-hmm. I'm working on kicking the sugar addiction, okay? Get into it. Anyways, so those are our tips for that question. Mm-hmm. So if you have any questions on that question or anything we said here, you can send us questions on our questions. The next question that came in is, what are some tips to save money on nutrition, especially if you are following a nutrition plan, right, while traveling? Mm-hmm. And do you want to start or you want me to start?
I'll start. I mean, I think we've said it once and I'll say it again, is just planning and packing. So like bringing your own meals, eating at home before you leave. And then
that's partially for sanity as well.
Yeah.
I would say.
You know, and then just like what we mentioned before is that like we will, if we're staying somewhere for an extended period of time, we will try to find a hotel that is more of like a suite style, so like a Homewood Suites or like a Residence Inn, like anything that says like home or residence normally is gonna have more of like a kitchenette style.
Be careful though, because we just got a kitchenette style hotel recently, and I don't even think it had a microwave. It had nothing.
It did have a microwave.
Did it?
Yes.
It wasn't.
Yeah, it had a microwave.
Anyway,
it
was misleading.
I knew that he just was misled. I knew what I was getting. I knew that it was not.
That's weird because when we got there, she was like, "Wow, this is weird. It's just a there's a
no, I did not.
There's a toilet here instead of a kitchen."
No, that I did not act like
that. That actually happened.
Anyway,
and that's how she sounds.
So, so to try to save a little bit of money, if just think like sometimes those hotels will be slightly more expensive. Actually, oftentimes they aren't, because they don't offer the same luxuries that a other hotel will. So I feel like that's also like that's a misconception, is that these like bigger rooms of like suite style like residence types are going to be more expensive. But oftentimes
so
they're actually not.
The people listening are probably going to be confused because
Why?
what you just said about all of that, if we backtrack a little bit, and the price and misconception and all that, you got off track somewhere and then it exploded and I'm confused.
Okay.
So what in the hell are you talking about?
So what I'm saying...
How are we saving money here?
Okay, so what I'm saying...
Do I get a hotel or not?
No, yes.
So,
what? Yes, you do get a hotel. Like, you get a Homewood Suites or like a Residence Inn hotel. Because oftentimes they're actually cheaper than regular, just like basic hotel rooms that don't have those things. That's what I'm saying. Does that make sense?
That'll go hand in hand with planning. Do a little bit of research, see what you can get. But that is what I was going to say is try to get a hotel with a kitchenette, right? Where you can get a stove, microwave, all this other stuff. And then
some have ovens, some don't. Some just have stoves.
Yeah, the ovens are nice to have in there. But the stove is good enough. You can do a lot of stuff on the stove. And what you can do is make sure you get that. And then while you're planning your route and all this stuff, make sure there is a grocery store there. So what we did the one time is did an order on our way there.
Yeah.
And we went and picked it up. Well, we dropped our stuff off because it wasn't ready yet, and then we went and picked it up. So, which was very convenient.
Yeah.
And that is the chair and the ball I'm sitting on. I'm sorry for the podcasters who had to listen to that. So we made food because we were there for a week, I think it was. So we made food the whole week.
We were there for...
Until I found French toast filled with some kind of...
Oh, yeah, then he found this French toast
place.
I was working. So a lot of times I'll have to go to the same place for work.
That's irrelevant anyways.
Yeah, but so
I didn't eat that stuff.
Yeah.
Anyways, but we bought turkey, like ground turkey. And eggs, so we can have eggs in the morning, and like breads and all that other stuff. So that's a good way to save money because now you're not going out, and
for
of course we went out
for
meals because we're out of town. We're not really on vacation because she was working, but we're on a holiday for those who use the holiday, and
Peppa Pig.
Yes, Peppa Pig's our favorite show. One of them. Bluey's better.
Oh,
please.
I should say Bluey, man.
Please, somebody tell me you've seen Bluey. Whether you have kids or not, I literally am watching that show even when my daughter is sleeping.
It's one of the best shows.
Off topic.
Hilarious.
So that's what I was going to say is try to get one with a kitchenette. And if not, another option just to save money, even in just the morning for breakfast. Now, this is a good way to save money if I typically don't like to eat bagels very often, but bagels are way better option than going to McDonald's breakfast or Wendy's breakfast, which I know we talked about Wendy's last episode, but I just saw something. I should have saved it. I don't know why I didn't. I just saw something that Wendy's came out with some kind of fantastic breakfast something. I don't know what it was. Anyways, we'll get back to you on that one. But bagels are a better alternative. Even the eggs that they have there. Like, you can get bagels and eggs and...
Like, at the hotel.
Yeah, at the hotel.
Yeah.
And I think you can get bagels almost regardless of what hotel you go on. I don't think there's been a hotel that hasn't had bagels there. So, again...
Yeah.
Try not to get the cereal because cereal is loaded with sugars.
Yeah.
Loaded with sugars.
Yeah, so just find a hotel. A lot of the chain hotels will have like a complimentary breakfast with.
And that'll save you money right in the morning.
Yeah, so that will save. Yep, definitely
that's a good one.
Save you money. So.
Good on that question?
Yeah.
Perfect. I think that was the questions we had.
Okay. I thought there was another one, but I can't remember. So, that's irregardless, as you would say.
Irregardless. It's one of the best words I've ever heard. No, I didn't get anywhere.
Okay.
But, yeah, so those are our recommendations on those questions. So, yeah, is there anything else you wanted to add that you might, I think the questions really added some spice to these episodes. I'm
trying to think.
I really just want to reiterate the fact not to stress about
Yeah.
not about nutrition. The more you stress, the harder it becomes, and the judgment is going to go out the window, really, because stress just causes a lot of chemical reactions in your body you don't want to happen. And most times when I stress out, I want to go eat cake. So I know that's just me, and there's probably some other people who can relate, but it happens. Like, she stressed me out earlier. I ate like 6 cookies. It's 4 cookies.
But they were homemade, so way better.
That's right. 0 nutrition facts. That actually isn't a thing. Okay, we need to stop joking about this stuff. If you make it at home, there is calories.
Like, how when you buy something it says the nutrition facts on it. Well, when you home make it, it doesn't come with that.
That's what happens at bakery goods
facts.
too. For the majority of the time, if you go to a bakery, it doesn't have nutrition facts on it because it's made in the bakery.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's fresh.
It really does. It is fresh, but it really actually carries calories and, carbohydrates and fat.
But
and
this was one of my best altered recipes. Total off topic, but this was one of my best.
Not really off topic. We're talking about nutrition.
I guess nutrition, and this would be a great snack to pack. Because it's like a nice sweet.
I would say make sure you pack something definitely more satiating.
Oh, for sure.
Because then you're going to end up eating all the cookies.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, I literally ate 4 because they were just that good, and they weren't very satiating, right? Because that's usually what happens.
Yeah.
Until the end, which is also what happens. The good news is I didn't crash afterwards, so I didn't get that glucose spike, right?
Yeah.
Or the crash
It had
I usually
pretty
do.
low sugar.
With
It really
cake.
wasn't. Yeah. Really wasn't a ton of sugar because I didn't use regular white sugar because I used.
It was monk fruit.
It was a monk fruit sugar.
If anybody wants this altered recipe, message us, let us know. It's a chocolate chunk, chocolate chip, chocolate syrup, chocolate paste over chocolate powdered sugar inside of chocolate milk.
No.
And it was made on chocolate aluminum foil.
They were
I know.
triple chocolate
crazy
cookies. Triple chocolate cookies. And I am the queen of
chocolate.
Taking a recipe, not having 90% of the ingredients, and then finding the ingredients that I do have and majorly altering the recipe to only include the very easy instructions, and then I bake it. And 9 times out of 10, it turns out to be complete garbage.
True story.
This one was like a 5-star.
This was a 5-star. If anybody wants the recipe, I literally
Yeah.
highly recommend it. She's making more tomorrow because I ate so many. I want more.
We can video.
If anybody wants,
it.
We're gonna make a YouTube video.
Yeah,
but if you
we'll
want
do
the
a
recipe,
video,
if you want the recipe beforehand, let us know. Reach out to us. We'll let you know the recipe.
Mm-hmm.
She kind of just wings it with like the measurements, so she's gonna give you a rough estimate.
With baking,
measurements.
for the most part, yeah.
And we'll give you what she was supposed to put in there.
Yeah.
It'll probably taste the same, and let us know. But with that, before we end, I will tell you, because she just said that, a story. Before we got married, one of the first 2 or 3 times I met her parents, right? We came over from her apartment. She made something. I forget what it was, but it was crap. So because she didn't follow the directions. So we're over at the house.
I'm pretty sure one of the ingredients was expired.
One of the ingredients was expired by years. It was several years. Anyways, after this, we're gonna cut the story into another story. After this, I raided her kitchen and stuff, and there was half the stuff in there was expired by many years. It was devastating. I don't know what was going on. Anyways, somebody commented it was a dessert she made, and it was the only one we had, I think. And her mom said something, and I just destroyed it. I was like, Christina didn't follow it. I said, this thing's gonna collapse. Christina's not good at baking anything.
And then I'm pretty sure he outed me for the expired ingredient. And then
right.
My dad was like, "Are you kidding me, Christina?
And then
I can't believe you let us eat this."
And then this is where the funny part comes into play. After the fact, probably the next day, whatever it was, her mom approaches her and is like, "Are you sure you want to be with this guy? Does he talk to you like that often?" Blah blah
it's
blah.
Like, talk to me like what?
And I died hearing this story. I thought it was the funniest thing because I was making a joke about her. I have a very sarcastic sarcasm.
Sarcastic sarcasm.
Yeah, I have very sarcastic sarcasm. My jokes are very... People believe them.
They're very belittling. No, I'm just kidding.
People believe them. Anyways, I thought it was the funniest thing.
Yeah.
It was hilarious.
But yeah, it all stems from me not following recipes.
Maybe we shouldn't have told you that story, but if you do want the recipe for the cookies...
No, all the ingredients
The cookies are
good. Not totally expired. But you are free to get your own ingredients.
Yeah, please.
I just don't believe... Yeah.
Alright, we got off on a rant. Sorry about that. We're going to cut the episode.
Alright.
This was... outside of the cookies, we do recommend that you follow, a good nutritional... nutrition base, right? Mm-hmm. And not eat cookies all the time, okay? It's not what we're saying here, but...
Yeah. I can't remember the last time we ate cookies besides today.
Oh, man, it was years.
Yeah, we don't really eat cookies.
Decades, probably.
Yeah.
I mean, we've been alive for 900-something years. Anyways, that's the end of this episode. If you have any questions on anything you heard, by all means, let us know over here on your left. If you're watching live on Twitch and YouTube, you can find all of our social media and the website. Good job. You got it for the first time. Holy moly.
Did you say I had to stick this finger up to see which way it would
That's hilarious. I did see that. And if you're listening on the podcast platform, all those links will be in the description. Thank you for those who have...
that way.
Yes, underneath. You can't see that if you're on... Well, it will be in the description if you're on Twitch and YouTube as well. Thanks for those who have tuned in live on Twitch and YouTube. Thanks for those who are listening. And once again, and good day. I did check the date. I promise you that. Clicking is just a mouse underneath us. On August 18th at 9 p.m. Eastern, we'll be live again on Twitch and YouTube with another episode. Topic is to be determined. We're not going to tell you that. And we hope to see you guys there.
Bye.